Alright, hi. I can't remember what day it is. Thursday. That doesn't mean much to you, but whatever. So I'm just going to talk to you a little bit about Incubator that I just finished. I've been working on it for a couple of days in my little tiny dorm room. I have power tools in my dorm room. I don't know what that says about my character, but... So here it is. What I've done is I've taken a cooler, just a cheap cooler that I got at the hardware store, and I've cut a hole in it like this, got a piece of glass at the thrift store for $1, pasted it on there with some caulking, and this is our temperature reader, our main one. It's been sitting at 100.2 forever, hasn't moved, gone to about 98 at the low point and 102 at the high point, which from my experience in the past incubators works just fine. So I'm going to kind of throw that over the edge. I'm going to turn it around. Well, actually, first off, I think I'm just going to open it. So this is the inside. I've got 2 bulbs wired in. Just cut a hole in the cooler, plug the sockets in, put a little bit of caulking around the edge to seal up the holes. These are 40-watt bulbs, by the way. This little thing is an old computer case fan out of a computer tower or laptop, and it runs on 12-volt power, so I actually have to hook it up to an adapter. And I just bring you around the back here. Yeah, the place is a mess, don't tell me. And what I've got here is just an adapter from a random appliance that I stole somewhere, and took the adapter off it and hucked the appliance away. And I got right here, these are the sockets, and I've wired up just a regular household extension cord, split it, and then taken the socket end of it, or the plug-in, yeah, I'm not an electrician, can you tell? The pluggy-in-y part, and that's where I'm sticking my power to my fan, and then that runs out and gets power from there. And then these are my 2 power in and power out of my thermostat, and they just come through and hook onto those 2 little doodads. Yeah, don't touch this because it's live and it does zap you, trust me. So it goes in here, and then this goes in like so, in through the thermostat and out, and then it goes into the light bulbs somehow. No, it goes into the thermostat here, and then it comes down into the light bulb, over to the other light bulb, back into the thermostat, and then out the thermostat, and then of course out the cord. So this thermostat, I tried about 3 different thermostats before I finally settled on one that actually worked decent. This thermostat is a solid state thermostat, meaning that it holds a steady temperature. It doesn't have a fluctuation range. Well, it does a little bit, but not very much. I ordered this from Lion Technologies, which is the maker of Rolex incubators, which is probably one of the higher end incubators on the market. They've been out for years. I actually got one at a garage sale at one point for $30. The thermostat was burnt out in it, the Turner motor was burnt out in it, and I ordered one of these to replace it. This little unit cost about $60, and I just got it shipped up from California, and they work great. They're really sensitive. This little knobby thing changes the temperature. There's no dial on it, so you just have to kind of play with it and find the temperature that sits well. And what I've got here, this is an aquarium thermometer, and they actually work really good. They're nice and sensitive. I never completely trust the electronic ones, because like anything electronic, it can break, and they tend to. And these, you can even get a couple of them, because you never know, one might not be calibrated properly. So I use at least 2, maybe 3 thermometers in this to get my temperature right. And this is kind of a modified hatching tray. I've just made this out of hardware cloth, cut it to fit. All it is a little basket that I made out of hardware cloth. Really made sure there's no sharp edges on the inside because this is what chicks are going to be hatching on. And it's got a little, and I got something, sorry, this thing here. This is just earthquake cloth. You can get it at Walmart or wherever, really. It's kind of got a skiddy surface. And I just lay that in here, gives the birds something to get traction on and keeps their legs from falling through, and gives the eggs something to stick to. I don't really like eggs rolling on this. I'm always afraid it's gonna crack them. So I take this thing, and what I have inside here is, it's just an oven rack. I got this at the superstore. Put a little bit of vet wrap around the bottom so it doesn't skid around, and it sits up about an inch, half an inch maybe to an inch. So what I can do is just pour my water in here, and I actually kind of want to make a hose apparatus in the corner so that I can add water without having to take the lid off, because every time you take the lid off you lose heat and humidity. Incubator's got to have about 50 to 60% humidity in here, and then a little bit extra at hatching. So I'm just going to take this piece of earthquake cloth and kind of sit it in here, and that'll give the eggs something solid to sit on while they're actually incubating. And I got a little hole right here, and what did I do with it? I got this little piece of dowel with a wire on it, and that fits right in here, sort of. Come on, you. Okay, ideally it fits through here. Okay, I'm just going to cheat this way because I don't feel like fighting with it. Alright, there we go. And that slides in and out like that. That wire's catching on everything. Okay. So then I got this thing, and it looks like a little ladder. It's just a bunch of dowel kind of glued and taped together. And I kind of got this idea from my existing Rolex incubator that uses a metal apparatus, and when you push it, it turns the eggs one way, and pull it, it turns the eggs the other way. It's normally got a motor hooked up to it, so it's always doing this. But I mean, as long as you turn it 3 times a day, your eggs will be just fine. So this little thing just kind of sits in here, like so. And then I'm going to take this little wire, and you got to keep in mind that you only have to do this once and get it set up, and then you can take your incubator apart and sterilize it after every batch. So I'm just going to take that wire. This is kind of hard to do with one hand holding a camera too. There we go. Just give it a little bit of a tighten there. Alright, so that's sitting in there. I don't have any eggs at the moment to show you. This is a rack that's designed for quail eggs, since this is what I'm going to be doing. And then you just grab this little thing, and you pull it, and you push it. So at about 6 a.m. I'm going to give it a pull, turn the eggs onto one side, push it at lunchtime, and then give it a pull again. And we do it 3 times a day so they don't spend 2 nights in a row on the same side. And the eggs just sit in here, like so. And then as this moves back and forth, it rolls them back and forth. So that's what that little thing does. And so quail eggs take 17 days to hatch if you're doing Cotterneck's quail, which I am. So for the first 14 days is going to be just like this, and then we're going to take this thing out of here, and I'm going to put this wire basket in, and then the eggs can just sit there, and they don't have to be turned for the last couple of days, and then they can hatch. And that's kind of why I got this nice little window on it, so that the class can watch. I was contemplating putting a window in here too, but I don't really want to compromise the integrity of the heat capsule any more than I have to. And we can see just fine from in here. I can videotape it. And that's really all you need. Like the cooler, you could probably get a cheap one at a garage sale or something. I had to buy this one because I couldn't find anywhere else. This cost me about 25 bucks. So we'll say $25 at the high end for a cooler. You could probably get one for $5 somewhere. This I got for free because if you can find somebody with a lot of old dead computers laying around, if you want to buy one of these brand new, it costs about $12, so they're not really that expensive. Dowling I got at the hardware store. These cost about 78 cents for a 3-foot piece, so they're not expensive. This stuff is really cheap. I paid about $5 for a roll of it. This rack, you can substitute all kinds of things. I think I paid about $10 for that. That's probably one of the more expensive things. Each one of these light sockets here was $5. They're ceramic light sockets. You can get them cheaper, but I like the ceramic ones. I just feel safer with them, and I think they're a little bit better quality. Light bulbs, of course, cheap, a couple dollars for a pack. This little guy, I said again, was $60. The extension cord, if you want to buy an extension cord, you can get one for $6 or $7. I don't know if you can actually buy these anywhere, but if you've got any kind of random appliance that doesn't work anymore or you don't use, I just steal these off of the appliance and then toss it whatever it is, like a battery charger or whatever. And yeah, basically that's it. If you got these little morettes hanging around your garage or whatever, you can get a pack of 6 for about $1 at the hardware store. So I mean, all in all, I got $20, $60, that's $80. 90, 100, 110. You could probably, this unit, not including all the stuff I bought, tried, stuff that didn't work, stuff that I destroyed trying to put together, not including all that stuff that didn't work, this unit probably cost about $120 to $130. And you can probably get a half decent incubator for like a pre-made one for that price, or for an extra couple $100. I think Incubator runs at about $200–300 with turners. But if you're like me and you like to spend $1 to save a dime and put things together with your hands and just kind of be outrageous, then this is the way to go. So I'm hoping to get about a couple of dozen quail eggs as of next week. And then we'll see how it goes. So I just had my first minor blow up. When I was putting that wire hatching basket in while the incubator was running, I hit one of the little bolts sticking up on the thermostat and it went bang! And there's sparks and it was really awesome and it scared the crap out of me. So I've taken a Philadelphia cream cheese container and kind of modified a bit and stuck it on there just with some silicone just to try and protect that unit because it's worth $60. I really don't want to blow up another thermostat. I've blown up several of them in the past year working on little projects like this, and this one's quite expensive and I don't want to get electrocuted or zapped again. So I've covered up all the little metal bits with electrical tape and siliconed that thing on there so unsuspecting people and little birdies pecking at shiny things, because they do like to peck at shiny things, can't get zapped anymore. I've also set up this little funnel system. This is just like an automotive funnel. And I put a little bit of aquarium tubing that I had laying around, and I drilled a hole in here, so this shouldn't affect the temperature any. In fact, it's good to have some ventilation. I've got a few little vent holes all along the incubator, and that actually helps circulate the air too. The hot air comes out and then it sucks cold air in by doing that, and there it keeps the oxygen well in there. So this little guy just kind of sits in here like so, and it just, I don't know if you can see it, but it kind of fits down into the corner, and you can just fill that up, throw a couple of cups of water in there, and it'll sit in the bottom of the tray, and it creates humidity. And I got a little humidity reader right here. That's it.